All right, now let's talk about mixed voice. Mixed voice is simply the idea or the sensation that you take your real voice all the way up. Instead of going in a falsetto, you stay in your real voice. Strangers waiting. Now, it's different to pulling chest, because when you pull chest or stay in chest, what you'll feel is that you kind of hit a wall at some point, and every note starts getting harder, or you end up flipping. So you end up straining or flipping. Mixed voice is the idea that instead of straining, what happens is the larynx starts tilting, and that thins out your vocal folds. That allows the resonance to move up to the head while you're still in your chest voice, and then you can keep going higher in the sound. So what does mixed voice sound like? I'll give you a little demonstration. So let's say I grab like an A4, which is a good kind of area. Now, do you notice how it sounds like my chest voice is being stretched up, but yet it doesn't sound like I'm hitting a wall and straining? It's pretty relaxed. That's what's going on. So you'll hear the resonance move to my head. And it's got that, it's still got the robustness of chest voice, but it's got the freedom of head voice or falsetto. So we're going back to ooh at the top. Yeah, nice. You released it, but you had enough chest so you could get back down. That was excellent. Good. Not quite getting that release on that second last note. So there, you got to be on oh right there, and it should be right up there. That's it. Nice. So this is what we're trying to do. Instead of having to go la and go to falsetto, or instead of having to get stuck up in chest and try and hit that note, we're getting freedom in the voice. It actually feels free going all the way up there. Where mixed voice gets confusing for some people is that the actual term mixed voice, right? So people start thinking it's like a third voice they've got to kind of find. So they're like, I've got chest voice and I've got falsetto, so I've got to find this like third voice. At first you may kind of feel that it's a third voice, but really what it really feels like is just like you're staying in your chest and you're just going up, and it's just thinning. That's what it really feels like. You stay in your real voice and it thins out. That's it. And there's no kind of ceiling that you crash against. You feel like you're landing on the notes as opposed to coming up under them. So mixed voice, the reason why it's called mixed voice is because you're mixing resonance. So when we're in our chest voice, so chest voice is the primary resonance is coming from the mouth, okay? The oral pharynx. As we go higher, the resonance starts mixing with head resonance. So what happens is your soft palate raises up, which blocks off the nasal port so that you can't go nasal. I'm not going nasal, right? So as the soft palate raises up, it blocks off the nasal port, allowing the resonance to go up to the head. So we mix our head resonance with our chest resonance. That's what mixed voice is. If we don't have chest resonance mixing, what we end up with is just head resonance, which is very thin, like this. And that's really what we call falsetto or just head voice, So what we do is we mix that chest resonance. We've got to learn how to mix that chest resonance into the sound so we combine it and create one big full voice. Now there's a third resonance that acts as a crossing between the two, and that's the pharyngeal resonance. Now the pharyngeal resonance is crucial. That's a bright resonance that comes in the face, and that's what is really the resonance that links the chest and the head together. Now I kind of liken this to an analogy of a manual car. So first gear, you're driving, and then you go on the highway, you got to change second gear, and you got to change third gear. You know what I mean? You got to keep changing the gears. So It's kind of like that, you know. As you know, pulling chest is like trying to drive on the highway in first gear. It's like the car's going, and you're like going so slow. You know what I'm saying? You want to switch it to third gear and then and just cruise along. So that's what we're trying to do. You're holding on to one resonance too long, and you're not allowing it to release up more into the head. Now, when I talk about release, I don't mean letting it go to falsetto. This is, at first you may feel like that's what happens, but what happens is you release it and you still hold on to some of the chest, and you get like a mix of the two. That's why it's called a mixed voice. Now, the mixed voice needs to be warmed up, okay, for most people. Some people are kind of freaky and they can wake up and just sing really high songs and just straight into it all day, but I can't, and most people I know can't. Most people are going to have to warm up the voice for a good 40 to 60 minutes before you'll find that you can use the voice in the way that you're expecting it to be used. So what I mean is, if I've got a performance or if I've got to record something in the studio, I want to at least a good 40, 60 minutes at least, you know. And I find that when I'm in the studio 6-7 hours singing hard, singing powerful, it's at the end of the day that my voice feels the best. So if your technique's solid, you'll find that it'll just keep getting warmed up, and you'll find it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. Instead of tearing down your voice, it just gets better and better and better. In most cases I've seen. So you want to really warm up the voice really, really well in order to warm up that mixed resonance. Otherwise, you'll feel like the chest will just go up and will stop, and you'll flip into falsetto. I recommend at least 40 to 60 minutes, rest 10 minutes, then do your singing, and then you'll find that your voice will start behaving a lot better.